After 2 years of cancer treatment, I was really looking forward to some sense of normalcy, being more active again, and I was even cautiously optimistic about returning to work as a water scientist. I'd had 6 surgeries, 10 rounds of chemotherapy, and 26 doses of radiation as part of my cancer treatment, in addition to multiple other complications. All the while, single parenting my 5-year-old daughter, sharing custody with a non-cooperative deadbeat dad that wouldn't settle the marital finances so I could go on with my life. Then one day in January, I went to go pick up my daughter from her after-school care, but she wasn't there. My ex had picked her up without telling me. I went to his home to get her. His girlfriend's child let me in. He was angry I was there, telling me to ask his girlfriend where our daughter was, yelling at me to leave. I was worried about my kid. I tried to stay calm and reason with him. That's when he shoved me. He is bigger than me, and I had lost a lot of muscle strength and bone density from cancer treatments. He pushed me so hard, I was lifted off my feet, through the doorway, and landed full force on his front porch. I was in shock. I got in my car, locked the doors, and called 911, something I never thought I would have to do. The officer came and went after briefly listening to the events. He told me it wasn't an assault, that I'd been told to leave, and it was my ex-husband's property after all. He didn't even ring the doorbell of my ex-husband's house to question him. I was diagnosed with whiplash, a concussion, and post-traumatic migraine headaches by my doctor and physiotherapist, all exacerbated by anxiety, cancer-related fatigue, and brain fog symptoms. I spent a year seeking to appeal the police inaction, only to be told that the incident was not domestic violence, but an attempt by me to leverage my ex-husband for custody, which wasn't even on the table at the time. Only the officer and his colleagues, not me, got to appear in person at the appeal board, and the officer's version of the events prevailed. So I went to court. I remember bowing to the judge when I entered and exited the courtroom in an expected show of respect, of deference, for him and for the justice system. I was questioned by the lawyer and had to relay my story out loud in the witness box, trying hard not to cry. Shortly after I had begun, the judge had heard enough. He cut me off and told me I was preposterous for bringing this matter to court. And then he got up and he left the courtroom. The system was not going to protect me. I was called preposterous for seeking basic humane justice. That's when I knew I was done. Done hiding my story because it's disturbing and hard to hear. Done protecting him. Done bearing the shame that is not mine to bear. I went through a domestic violence program at a women's shelter where their validation and support helped me to survive the trauma so I could tell my story now. I feel I have to speak out for myself and other women. If I couldn't get justice as a white, English-speaking, highly educated person of privilege, how in the hell are women of color, who may not be fluent in English, or people with limited education and resources, supposed to get justice? They don't. They don't even try. Violence against women has become normalized, and girls and women are told to watch their backs, their skirt lengths, their assertiveness. As I sit here, barely able to walk around the block, having to continuously endure prescription medications, cortisone, and nerve block injections in my back, I am still recovering from deep emotional and physical trauma. I'm on medical leave from my job, again. Meanwhile, the person that did this has faced no consequences. I am waiting for surgery to get steel rods put into my back to replace the bits that he broke. Every day is a struggle to keep him and my injustice from breaking my spirit. But I will use these steel rods to stand tall and to tell my story.